So, welcome to Global Media Talk Show. Today is September 21st, 2025. Today we are having a guest by the name John Jaliba Mbackeh. We're going to be talking about the behavior of Gambian electorates. So, John is going to lead us through this discussion. And of course, I have my co host here, Sam Ceesay. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And my other co-host Ousman Camara. Ousman, welcome to the show.
Right, thank you so very
And
much, Dr. Sawaneh. Thank you.
thank you. And of course, we will have Famara join us perhaps before the end of the show. So Mbackeh, welcome. Mbackeh, lately we have been, this is an election season, and of course, the behavior of the government electorates is something that we will be interested in. I'm pretty sure the populace will be interested in to look into that in depth. And as a graduate from UTG, probably you can lead us through this discussion on the tons of ideas or perhaps areas that are uncovered on the news media or other from other sorts of thoughts. So definitely you can lead us through the conversation, and I will be asking you questions. A co-host also will be giving you some questions and comments as we go along. You have the floor. Mbaki, are you there? Yeah.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can leave your mic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll meet on mic. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Can you hear me now?
And I'm gonna send you the link on the private chat so that you can share with your audience. Okay. Okay.
That is. So, first of all, good afternoon to everyone that is here. And I also want to say thank you very much for this opportunity to be able to speak on this platform. I think I've also followed a few of the people that you've invited here recently with Melville Roberts. I think I've watched part of his interview with you people or his thoughts with regard to the topic that you guys were discussing. And I'm also equally glad to be able to join the platform this afternoon from the Gambia here to be able to discuss about our country's politics and the way forward. We realize that elections is in 2026. It is fast approaching, and it's only important that we have discussing surrounding that area. My name is John Jaliba Mbackeh, as I earlier mentioned, and I am a staff of the university in the Department of Political Science, where I serve as a graduate assistant. And I also equally graduated from the University of the Gambia, where I study political science in my bachelor's degree. So I'm pleased to be here to be able to also share my thoughts and also to learn from the individuals that I'm meeting tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that introduction. Definitely. So, yeah, I think I don't know if Mr. Sawan is on, but we can jump right into it and keep going.
Yes. I was muted. Usually I don't mute, but that's why. Yeah, go ahead, Mbaki. We can just jump right into it. The electorates. What are your thoughts on Gambian electorates? The behaviors of the Gambian electorate, and then in terms of politics.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sawan, for that question. So as we said, the 2020 election, and as a student equally as a student, I hold a strong conviction that before we discuss what happens today or what happens tomorrow, it is equally important that we go back to history to discuss the electoral behavior of Gambians when it comes to elections. So when we discuss the electoral behavior of Gambians when it comes to elections, this is going to take us to pre-colonial days before we even attain independence coming to getting independence, having the first republic under former president, the late president Sadauda Kairaba Jawara, to having the second republic under the second president also, Yaya Jammeh, and now also to having the third president of our country, His Excellency Adam Barrow. But in this discussion that we discuss, as far as we want to look at the electoral behavior of the Gambian electorates, it is important, as I alluded earlier on, to be able to look at the different periods and also how the electorates have been behaving. But in this discussion, it is important that also we factor that there are different agents of political behavior, or there are different agents that make the electorates to do the things that they do. Because when we talk about the electorates, we are basically referring to the individuals that participate in the election or in the electing of an individual, whether it is president, whether it is a councillor, whether it's member of parliament, you name any elections that happen. So there are different agents that contribute towards the political behavior of the Gambian electorates, and some of these agents, as I'm so also equally aware of these agents. One is regionalism, or the different regions that we have in the country. As it is clear to all of us, Gambia have different regions. We have the West Coast region, we have LRR, we have URR, we have CRR, North Bank, and other regions in the country. We equally also have people belonging to different ethnic groups within the country. We have the Fulas, we have the Jolas, we have the Mandinkas, we have the Manjagos, we have the Sarahules, we have the Wolofs, we have the Serer, we have the Balanta, and the many other tribes that are in the country. And also another factor also that influence or that dictate the political behavior of the electorate is the cost of living. What is the back, or what is the price that people what is the price of a bag of rice, what is the price of a bag of sugar, how much do you have to pay to buy bread? Another also factor also that influence the way people behave in our polity today is as a result of what are your policies. There are people that are interested to know the policies that you're presenting before they will cast their votes for you. But equally, as I said, when we want to discuss electoral behavior in Gambia ahead of the 2026 elections, I want to take us back to history. Looking at the first president of the republic, you'll remember that then political parties like the United Party, which was led by Per Saranjai, and the People's Progressive Party, which was led by Sadauda Kairaba, were two major parties in the first republic. But you will realize that then voting was only done by people that were in the crown colony, and the people that were in the crown colony are the people that are living in Banjul and some parts of the Combo St. Mary areas. The people that are from the protectorate, the people that are from rural Gambia, were not given the chance to be able to vote. As a result of that, it dictates on the outcome of the elections. It dictates on the outcome of the elections. And this is why political parties like PPP, which was then led by former President Sadauda Kairaba Jawara, had to agitate to say, no, the voting should be extended to the protectorate. It is not only the people that are living in the crown colony that are supposed to have the right to vote and be voted for, which is franchise. But the people that are living in the protectorate, as far as they are citizens of the Gambia, should equally be given that right to be able to vote, and be voted for. And this is why when that was extended, you will realize that when elections later happened between the UP and the PPP, you will realize that PPP was able to dominate the elections, because then the population, in as much as we had good number of people that are living in the Combo St. Mary areas and in the Crown Colony, basically, we also had a lot of our people that were living in the protectorate areas. And based on regions. So you see then when Sadauda Kairaba Jawara and all the group of people that were part of the PPP political establishment, when they run for elections, and historically we know Sadauda Kairaba is from the rural areas, as a result, people or Gambians find it easy to be able to resonate with him about the things that he's sharing, and also that influences the way they vote. And as a result, that led to him winning the elections ahead of someone who was living in the Crown Colony, especially, let's say, in Batos, who was in the person of Per Saranjai. So regionalism have been very key in our country's polity. And as a result, it influences people on the way they vote. with regard to when President Jammeh came, in as much as the political establishment which Jammeh was leading by then, which is the APRC, is a political establishment that can be referred to as a mass political party. This was a party that people belong to from different tribes, from different regions and all whatnot. And you will realize that it was during that time that we had people voting also equally for Jammeh as a result of regionalism and other factors. On the issue of region, you will see people that live in areas like the URR, and the then government was able to win elections not only in the rural areas, but equally also in the urban areas. So this was equally a factor. So when we talk about political behavior, Gambians' political behavior from independence to now can be discussed under these factors and what are the things that lead Gambians to act the way they act. You will realize that with regard to Jammeh's own, that things only started going the other way for him when he started influencing issues of tribe and all that. But before that, people were for him irrespective of the tribe that they belong to. But you will realize that in Fonyi largely, there was no opposition that was going to be there to be able to even do anything that can disrupt the agenda for him in the Fonyi region. But what I'm trying to put across is that during Jammeh's time, individuals were voting for him based not on tribe, because there are major tribes that voted for him. They didn't vote for him as a result of them belonging to the same tribe with him, but it was a mass party that have people that belong to different tribes, different people of different areas of our country. But as a result, yet still people voted for him. But you see that has changed with the pronouncement of tribal messages ahead of the 2016 elections, and that is what for me personally, think it contributed in affecting him in the elections. And now coming to the elections that happen, with now having President Barrow as the third country, you'll equally realize that issue of regionalism is also a key issue, and also issue of ethnic belonging is also another key issue. You go to other countries, other communities. I am someone that participates in research. I can tell you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Am I
hear you.
audible? You go to places like the URR, where you have the Sarawules, they will tell you they do not vote against incumbent. So these are people that do not see any need of against an incumbent. So ideally, they align themselves with the incumbent, and that is something that we can largely say that the president is presently enjoying from. So basically, I'm trying to give a historical rundown in my own perspective, in my own thoughts and my own understanding as to what I think or what I believe are the issues that are surrounding people with regard to when they make their decisions on who to vote for. So these are the things that have been happening in my own understanding or in my own thoughts. And now, as we discuss the political behavior of the electorates or the electoral behavior of the electorates ahead of the 2026 elections, so we will realize that it's important that also we recognize that now the country is beginning to have also diversity with regard to the different political establishments that are coming up. We have the United Democratic Party is there, which is not a new political establishment. We have the NPP, which is new from 2019, not very new, but also not very old. We have the DOI there. We have the GDC there. We have other also. We have the Sobia movement by Esam by Fal, and also some potential political parties that are going to come up. So these for me are the issues that are going to be very key, or these are the political establishments that also are going to be the real actors ahead of the 2026 elections. But even with them being part of the actors in the 2026 elections, the factors that I've mentioned of the electorates, whether they will choose to vote for you based on the region that you come from, based on the ethnic group that you belong to, or based on the cost of living, they will choose to say the cost of living is so high, we will not vote for the incumbent and we will choose to vote for the opposition, or they are going to vote for you based on policies. So the electorates that we have in the Gambia are now also equally more aware and more informed than the electorates that we used to have in the Gambia in 1965 when we gained independence. The electorates we have in the Gambia now are more also interested in engaging on different factors that they believe are key before they choose an individual that they will elect in office. But equally so, Dr. Sawaneh, and equally Comrade Ceesay, and also Comrade Camara that is here, equally so, we have different political establishments as we speak. There are individuals already who have identified who they are going to vote for, and these are people that are card carriers of this political establishment. Example: someone that belongs to the United Democratic Party is not going to wait until 3 days before elections to say who the person is going to vote for. As far as the United Democratic Party present a particular candidate for the presidential elections, they are going to vote for that individual. Equally, someone that belongs to the NPP will not wait until 3 days before the elections to choose who to vote for. But as far as the political establishment have already selected a particular individual to run for the office of the president, they will vote for that particular candidate. So this is trying to say we have within our electoral polity people or individuals that are loyalists to a political establishment. Because they are loyalists to a political establishment, the individual that is put forward to serve as their presidential candidate, nothing changes their mind. We have individuals that don't belong to the camps, they will call them the silent majority. This silent majority do not just jump and say, I'm going to vote for Adam Barrow, I'm going to vote for Usainu Dabo, I'm going to vote for Mama Kande, I'm going to vote for SFL. These are individuals also that weigh their options and also with regard to their thoughts and to see who they believe can take the country to another level. So these are people that don't vote because a particular political establishment have established that this person have to run. But these are people also that vote as a result of the different issues that they consider. Maybe they consider the cost of living of the country. Maybe they consider the policies of the individual that is contesting, and as a result, they can make their decision before the D-Day of the elections. But looking at also equally the 2026 elections, you will realize that, as I said also, it is important that also we realize that there are potentials that we can have new political parties come into life. For example, now that Talib Ahmed Bensouda, the Lord Mayor of the Kanifing municipality, have decided to not resign from the United Democratic Party, but to resign from his position as an executive member of the United Democratic Party, and also withdrawing from the race, which happened some weeks ago, of the flag bearership or standard bearership race for the United Democratic Party. There are possibilities, there are speculations that we can equally give to say Talib Ahmed Bensouda can form a political party. There are speculations that we can say there are individuals who belong to NPP or whatever who are going to form a political party like Timama Deboja. How influential or how relevant can they be in our societal politics as the electorates also make their choice on who to vote for in 2026. So this is also for me another factor that I believe is very important that can also influence the electoral behavior of the Gambian electorates as we look forward to the 2026 elections. The emergence of a new political party or the emergence of a coalition or the emergence of a group of people that other people can think that now we need renewed hope, we need renewed commitment, can also serve as another factor that is going to influence the electoral behavior of Gambians ahead of the 2026 election. But I think what is key is to say that electoral behavior of Gambians is being influenced as a result of ethnic belonging, as a result of the regions that come from. Today, if I'm contesting from West Coast, because I'm from West Coast, if I'm contesting from West Coast, someone that lives within the West Coast, and I'm contesting with someone that lives in North Bank, the electorate, as we have been seeing for some good number of periods, will choose to look at me as someone that is from West Coast to maybe cast their vote for me. It may be something that we can agree to say, no, that is not how, it should not be on that basis that you should vote for an individual, but it's the electoral behavior of the Gambians that people choose to vote for you as a result of the region that you come from. If you are from North Bank today, Dr. Sawaneh, if you are from North Bank, you are contesting with me, who is from West Coast, and it is for a position or it's for a presidential position. People in North Bank may likely choose to align themselves with you. Maybe they are much closer to you. They think that also you understand their realities. And equally, people in West Coast will choose to vote for me because they believe that maybe I understand their realities and all whatnot. And also with ethnic line, in as much as people want to shy away from discussing this issue, in African politics, This is not something that is only peculiar to the Gambian context, but this is something that happens across many African countries. That people vote for an individual, basically, not basically for that, but primarily because the person also belongs to their ethnic group, and as a result, they can align themselves closely with that individual, and that influences their electoral behavior. So, for example, we can give examples of countries like Nigeria, that if you want to be the governor of Anambra State, which is an eastern state, which is an Igbo state, and therefore need to be an Igbo to contest for that position. If you want to be the governor of Lagos, or you want to be the governor of Ogun or Osun or Ekiti or Ondo or Kwara, these are Yoruba states, you have to be a Yoruba candidate, because those states are largely dominated by those tribes. Equally, if you want to be a governor in the northern part, in Kano, in Katsina, in Adamawa, in Kaduna, maybe you need to be um, a Hausa or Fulani. So I'm trying to put across how tribe is a very key fundamental issue when it comes to, or ethnic is a very key fundamental issue when it comes to the electoral behavior of the electorates who cast their votes. And this is equally something that is also going to, that has also been manifested by Gambian elections in the previous elections. That if someone is contesting from the Sarawule community in URR, and myself, and I'm living among the Sarawules there, and I'm not Sarawule, if the Sarawules compose of the majority, the electorates who are always Sarawules may likely see themselves aligning to voting for that individual rather than voting for me as someone who does not belong to that particular ethnic group. So equally, also cost of living. If people realize that the policies that I'm coming forward with are smart policies, they are attainable, they are policies that can transform lives, they can choose to vote for me. But there are people in our country, among our electorate, who do not look at politics, who do not look at the cost of living. They're interested in where you come from. They're interested where what you belong to, and as a result, they will choose to vote for you. So basically, I think this is where I'm going to stop for now. Maybe as the conversation goes by, I will also come to also share my thoughts with regard to other issues. But as we look forward to 2026 elections, the establishment of a new political party can contribute towards the political electoral behavior of the Gambian electorates. Also, but the factors that I've mentioned, like the region that you belong to, the region that you come from, sorry, the ethnic that you belong to, the policies that you present, or maybe the family background that you belong to, can also serve as issues that are going to contribute towards anyone who wants to run for election in the 2026 elections. But one thing we cannot shy away from is that these are factors that contribute towards our electoral behavior, and they continue to contribute towards the electoral behavior. But the question that we may ask ourselves is, in 2026, are Gambians ready, or are Gambians going to do the same thing now that we have the emergence of new political parties? Or are Gambians now interested in having having a shift with the way they vote, or with the issues that influence their electoral behavior? But basically, I believe that some of these issues that have been happening from the First Republic are issues that we still see happening, because the individuals feel so much comfortable aligning themselves to a group of people, to someone from their region, rather than someone that they will see as an outsider. But also equally the behavior of the one side of the 2026 electors, and equally also we will say the side of the minority, as
Yeah,
people will call them. You look at the different census that have been done. The silent majority also can contribute towards our election outcome in 2026. What is going to be their behavior towards the 2026 elections? Will they be interested in having to see a new political party being established for an independent candidate to run, or a coalition to be formed before they vote? Or will they say we are going to vote at this person, so to avoid this other person to then be able to get into office? But we must agree to the fact that these are factors that influence or affect, or that contribute to the electoral behavior of our electorates in our country's polity. And it's also high time that we also look at how best do we look at them, and also from projection, how is it going to contribute to to what is going to be the outcome of the results in 2026. Thank you so much.
thank you. You have definitely ironed up, I think, all the areas when it comes to electoral behavior You haven't left any stone unturned. Uh, it looks like you turn all the stones involved in this area, which is good. I think Sam and
Yeah.
I,
You,
how we just have to, poke in some of the things you said and see how valid or how much weight we can put on top of those. Now you mentioned a couple of things here when it comes to electoral behavior is driven by region, by ethnicity, um, by the cost of living, by perhaps um, like similar things that you can identify or relate to the candidate. Now, my question here is that do you think the electoral behavior is driven by the personality of a candidate or the message? Because you mentioned issues, they vote on issues like cost of living, let's say electricity, water, and so forth. But personality wise, like when I say personality, I would say, um, oh shit, oh, I mistakenly remove oh my client, sorry, my bad. Okay, that was a mistake. All right, that was a mistake on my part. Sorry, I was just trying to
yes.
add. Yeah, sorry about that. That was a mistake. I was just trying to add some
Sorry.
back. Went out. No, that was a mistake. I was just had to. I was just trying to add some back. Then I accidentally clicked on you. So what I was saying is that, do you think the personality has something to do with it? When I mean the personality, the character of a candidate, the trustworthiness, the integrity, the past record, if this candidate has any allegations or any history of abuse or any of the Gambian people look at all of that. Do they look at the whether this guy doesn't keep his words, like we have seen our president doing over and over again. He said he was going to run for 3 years. He went to 5 years. Then he said he's going to stop at 5 years. He went to 2 times. Now he want to go to third times. Do you think Gambian people really value this when they are doing their making their decision who they vote for, or are they just voting because Mansa Alanga Mansa support, whether that fallacy is still in their heads, or whether they more looking at the issues, what are good for them for today and tomorrow for their children, or whether they just want to say because you move quality, you move money quality, you move Sarah quality, so I'm voting for them. Or are they even voting against somebody? I don't like Mbackeh because Mbackeh, like I'm voting for Barrow because Mbackeh, for some reason, I think
Yes.
his government will be terrible. He's short tempered. He hates Fullers, so I'm a Fuller. I'm going for Barrow. Or he hates Mandingos. I'm a Bandingo. I'm going to vote for Barrow. So are all those things are critical in determining our election, or is it based on only those areas that you mentioned? That's what I want to add. Then after, then Sam can come in. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it.
Thank you very much. You've asked a very important question, whether those are factors that really also contribute to how the electorates behave, especially when it comes to, we are looking forward to the 2026 elections, whether it is personality, whether people are going to vote for your personality, or whether people are going to vote against you because they have some fears that if you come to office, you may be a threat to them, people are going to vote against you because you have been seen in quotes as a corrupt person with regard to maybe a commission or whatever. Or whether people are going to vote for you with regard to your word, your state, and maybe whether you stand that word. So basically, where I want to start from is that quite I think that is an interesting conversation because there are many Gambians tell you the reason why, for example, the leader of the opposition, the Democratic Party, is not able to emerge as winner for the maybe last election was because of protest vote. Protest vote, in a sense, I'm sure you will understand that protest vote, in the sense that they are going to vote for the incumbent, or they're going to vote for a particular individual because they have some fear that if they vote for this particular individual, that is going to be a threat towards their security or their safety in the country. So basically, for me, I think this is personal. These are also some personal opinions others have. In as much as I do not think that can be possible, that an individual can come to office as a result now to say, okay, so and so group of people cannot be seen independent and they should be removed. But this is basically a mindset that people have, because that is what is put in their brains that look, if you do this, if you vote for so and so, this is what is going to happen. And also, but I used to say, fundamentally, it is the responsibility of the people who belong to this particular political establishment who are being tainted with these particular opinions or thoughts that if they come to this and this is what is going to happen, to ensure that they go out there and sensitize and make it clear to people that look, this is not going to dictate, this is not the reality, because we do not have any power or means to be able to remove anyone from this country because we do not agree with the person based on
Sam, is it my end or his end?
I can hear you, and I was hearing him, so maybe it's from him.
Okay, he's frozen for some reason. Okay,
Yeah,
Sam,
yeah.
Sam,
It's probably the connection.
you can bail him out. You can come in.
Yeah, yeah. I will start until he comes in, and then let him finish, and then I will take it from there. So, yeah, I think you ask a very important question, and at the same time, he has been talking about a lot of different angles, different things
Right, right.
that that pertains to 2026 or any elections in general. I think. It's time for Gambians to be serious. It's time to change our mindsets. It is time to deviate from previous politics and ask ourselves. Every Gambian citizen in the country. Yep, he's back. So, yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah.
yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
This
go ahead.
we are
No, no worries. No worries.
we
No,
are
no, you can continue. Then Sam can come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and finish. Yeah.
the, the networks keep going and that. So basically, as I was saying, so those are issues that people have in mind, and it has contributed. If you speak to other individuals or other group of people in the country in the 2021 elections, they tell you they are going to find an incumbent.
Yeah, I think network.
It's frozen again. It's a network issue in the country. Yeah, like we know about.
This is
So
why. This is why we
People,
definitely need to change the system.
yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
So these are
This we can't even get a
yeah.
smooth soul because of the system is not really. The system is still weak. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So as I was saying, and also another issue, as you said, people vote. People are also, I think, personality also can contribute. That if people realize that you are a very calm person, that you are not an individual, they may not be right, but that is what you portray them. Because what you portray to people outside is what Gambians are going to know you for. Today, I do not live in the same place with you. What you show on social media, if you demonstrate to be a very calm person, a very accommodating person, a very civilized individual, I can align myself with you. If those are the values that I'm looking in an individual.
Yeah, the network is not in our favor
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
point.
this is always a thing in Gambia, and this is one of our problems that we need to solve. He's back.
Yeah, you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear. So I was talking about the issue of personality. People will choose to vote for you. They think that your personality aligns with how they see things. Because, for example, today there are individuals who assume or who have this feeling that the mayor of Kenya, who is not a presidential candidate, right? But there are people who have this assumption that he's an individual that is calm, he's an individual that is gentle. Equally, there are people also who have the assumption that the president of the republic currently is a very calm person. He is very tolerant. He does not have issues with people as a result of how they see him. And as a result, if those are the values that they are interested in, they are going to vote for the president, or they are going to vote for anyone who is going to run for elections. But I believe that majority of the Gambians are not really interested in the things that you have said in the past, which are contradictory to where you stand today, and as a result, they are going to take their votes from you, or they are not going to vote for you based on that. Because if we are speaking as a result, as trying to put it across, if we want to look at individuals that have said things, but yet still people vote for them, like the president, as you were saying earlier on. The current president, when coming into office with the coalition, there was an agreement that he was supposed to do 3 years. And right now, there is no indication that he is not going to contest. There are all indications that he's going to contest in 2026 elections. So I believe Gambians are not really interested for me in that particular aspect. If they are interested in that particular aspect, we will see the results in the way they vote. Equally, you are also going to see some opposition leaders that were so much aligning themselves with the incumbent, and now that they remove, especially from the leader of the United Democratic Party, and now that he's removed, then as he was then in the government, people do not see those issues as factors that are going to determine whether they will vote against these individuals. I think Gambians are mostly interested or largely moved about the issues about your personality, whether you are also someone that also, if they think that you are corrupt, it may also affect your voting. It may also affect the number of votes that you are going to have. But largely, Gambians are not interested in the things that you said before, which is in contradiction to what you are saying today. If that is the reason, then maybe there are individuals that should have been able to have more votes, but they have not been having votes. For me, I think those are issues, as you mentioned, the issues of personality, whether you are someone that is seen as a corrupt person, whether people are also having this fear that they are not going to vote for you. If they vote for you, this is what it is going to result to. That, for me, I think it's a major issue that is making Gambians to vote for. That is making some, not Gambians largely, but a good number of people that believe that if they vote for this individual, then they will not have any issues with him.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear us? Sam is frozen again, right?
Yeah, it
Things that
looks
you
like
said in the
it.
past, whether
Okay.
Gambians will see that and say, okay, as a result of this that you have said, now we are not going to vote for you. Maybe also the Electoral Commission will also look into that and say, okay, as a result of this that you have said, now we are not going to vote for you. Maybe also the Electoral Commission will also look into that and say, okay, as a result of this that you have said, now we are not going to
Yeah,
vote
he
for you.
he keep going in and out.
Electorates also, yeah, yeah, yes. So I was saying also there are factors I think that influence the way people vote, as you asked. But I also, for me, I think in as much as Gambians, I don't see them as interested in saying this is what you said in the past. As a result, we will hold you accountable. We will not vote for you. But I think as someone will say, new elites, as young scholars, as also young people of this country, I think there are issues that we need to really look into, whether we are going to vote for you based on the things that you have said in the past. If they are in contradiction to what you want to stand for today, then I think Gambians need to look into those things. But largely, the larger population are running around the issue of your personality, whether you are corrupt or you are not corrupt. And even with the corruption is subjective. But also, there are people that are not going to vote, that have demonstrated they will not vote for a particular group of people because they think if they vote for them, it is not safe for them. But I'm saying it's the responsibility of that group to come out and to demystify, to change this narrative, to make it clear to these people that, look, we are not what people are making you think that we are. We are people who are equal citizens like you are in this country, and we don't have any power to remove you. Basically, to answer your question.
Yep, I think it's done. Dr. Sawaneh, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. He
Thank you.
has slimmed it. So, yep. That he's saying that he thinks that answers your question. Are you satisfied with that?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
you
I'll
keep going.
take it from here. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate you in taking this time to be on this show. And you've given a lot of details about how the electorates think about 2026 elections and the way people vote, the way people think, and a lot of things. So you've covered a lot of things, and we thank you for that. I'm going to talk about two areas. One is, I think, in 2026 election coming, Gambians need to start to think about, we first need to change our mindsets. And one of the best things that we do here on this platform is to sensitize people. And I do that on my group as well, in Solutions for Gambia. Gambians need to change their mindset and stay away from business as usual, and ask themselves, when they have a president, an incumbent that's there, they need to ask themselves, has this incumbent served the purpose that they were looking for when they elected him? Has this incumbent changed their lives for better? Because we elect people to come and govern our country, hoping that they will make our lives better. Every individual need to ask themselves, is my life better today in Gambia compared to before Barrow took office? That should be their key question, a determining factor for them to think about 2026. If the answer is yes, for those who would say yes, maybe they will vote for him. For those who says no to that question, this is their opportunity to change and give the opportunity to somebody else. So that's one. The other part I want to talk about and elaborate on is, I think our National Assembly need to look at our IEC Act and include a presidential debate, because Gambian people deserve the right to know who they are voting for, not just from what they're going to say through campaign. In a national debate, which should include any incumbent, plus all the presidential candidates, right? All the flag bearers. I think a debate should be organized where it should take a minimum of maybe two hours, a minimum, to allow Gambians to know every single flag bearer, by having a host that will be the moderator of the whole debate and ask key questions. And before the debate, of course, everything needs preparation. I always say, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So they've got to plan this very well, to a point where they can take surveys from different parts of the country and different groups and ethnic groups and all kinds of people from the country in the diaspora, conduct a survey online to see what should be the key questions and get some good questions out of there. Narrow those questions to the best questions in different areas. For example, healthcare, the economy, cost of living, you name it, agriculture, you name it, all the things, our infrastructure. I mean, all the things that impact Gambia, that can make Gambia go forward. If they get questions from all of these areas, then the moderator will be asking those questions on the day of the debate. The question will be the same question for every flag bearer. The only difference will be for the incumbent. The moderator will be asking the incumbent, what have you done since you've been in office for this long? What have you done in this area, in the healthcare? And allow the incumbent to explain to Gambian people what they've done. You know what? When somebody starts to open their mouth and talk, it tells a lot. People can tell. People can catch a lot about that person. They can look at that person and the words that come out of their mouth and be able to make some judgment, not full judgment, but make some judgment about that person. Because the moment you open your mouth and start talking, people know whether you are talking of something that makes sense, and whether you're telling the truth, or whether you're talking about something you have no clue about, right? So that is going to allow the electorates to be able to determine, and this allows them to determine who really comes out well in answering their questions, and not only answering their questions, but what plan do they have for our country. Very important in a debate for all Gambians, wherever they are in the world, to be able to see the answers that come out of the candidate's mouth concerning their questions in addressing the economy, addressing agriculture, addressing the cost of living in the country, addressing the healthcare system, addressing our fisheries department, addressing our infrastructure, which includes electricity and water supply, internet supply, our hospitals, our schools, our roads, the whole 9 yards about infrastructure. They need to be able to the moderator need to be able to ask questions around all of these, and of course, women. Question about from women: what is the number one priority for the women today? So if we have a debate, a presidential debate, and you have a moderator that's asking each one of these candidates that question, and allow them 2 minutes to answer each question, or maybe 60 seconds, to allow the participants, which are the flag bearers representing their parties, to answer those questions. I think it's going to open people's mind, and it's going to open people's eyes. Gambian people will be able to think, and not only think, but be able to see and have a better understanding of who these people are, because we all know there is no college or university in the world that teaches people how to become a president, right? We know that. It's based on good presidents come out of certain things, perform well based on their knowledge. So looking at their past experience, accomplishments, and results will help Gambian people determine who will be the best fit for the country. Yes, there are loyal believers. I call them loyal believers. Loyal believers are people that believe in a certain party, no matter what happened, no matter who they bring in, no matter, you could even bring somebody from the sky and drop them to be a candidate for presidency. But these loyal believers believe in their people, and they're going to vote no matter what. There are people like that. But a presidential debate will help change some people's mind because of the outcome of what the candidates talk about in that debate, based on the questions that they ask. So I think it's going to help Gambian people make a good determination and prepare themselves to vote for somebody. After that, then followed by presidential tours, basically a campaign. After the debate, they go out through a campaign. I think at the end of the day, Gambian people will be more prepared to vote than the way we are right now. Just listening to every candidate talking and visiting some areas and not getting to some areas. But a debate will allow people not only to watch it on television, but be able to hear their voice as well for those who don't have television, because it could be recorded so that it could be circulated around the whole country or around the world for people to hear what these candidates are saying. And people are going to know, who really stands a chance to move this country forward. So I think that's what I wanted to add to it. So very, very important on those two areas. Back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I think John Mbackeh is here. John,
Yeah,
did
yes,
you
yes.
hear what Sam was highlighting? And if you want to answer the probably comment on those.
Yes, yes, yes. I've heard what he was saying, and I believe those are very important things. Just like Sam was saying, if you ask many Gambian people, they tell you change. But also, as you said, they need to be ready for the change. If you want change, you need to be ready for the change. If you want to change a government, if you want to change a system, you should also look at among the people that are contesting who is an alternative. But what I keep saying is that we cannot have an election in the Gambia. We have 5 people contest for a presidential elections, and you are telling me among these 5 people, there is no one individual that you think at least is an edge ahead of the rest of the 4. That cannot be so. Then you are trying to tell us that we need another individual, or we need someone to come from another country like Senegal or Sierra Leone or Guinea-Bissau to come and contest as president in the Gambia. And I keep on saying that cannot happen. We can only have a Gambian to run for office. If you have 5 Gambians,
But
if you have five,
I have to interrupt you here, because to make this little bit debating,
yeah,
sometimes it
yeah,
happens. You have people running who are definitely, none of them are better. Like none of them are the most suitable for the position. Even here, when Donald Trump run in those times, the reason why they keep picking him is because there's nobody there. Kamala Harris, I mean, and Biden. You're talking about the people who needed to be beating Trump were not in the game for some weird reason. And this is why we need to look at our electorates. Why are we making people like Khalifa Salah not winnable? Why are we when the coalition was happening? Why who would in their in their wildest dream pick Barrow over Khalifa? Provided that Khalifa has an extensive experience and integrity, a personality, a knowledge. So what happened? You ask yourself, what happened? So the
Yeah.
players are there, they are not taken. Those who are not good enough or who are so who once picked either through the
Yeah.
whatever process you can question. And when you
Yes.
come to the electorates, it become even more saddened with the electorates because knowing clueless leaders we had, um I mean, even we started with Jammeh, even with Jammeh, even though he was, he was a dictator, but you had the right to vote against him behind, in your own, ballot box by sitting there. Jammeh is not inside the ballot box with you. You could have choose not to vote for him because you knew what he was doing. He was killing people. He was not taking the country in the right direction. And now you come about even worse. But why are they winning in the election? So we can argue that part. You know, Sometimes it's not the player. You can have a bunch of people who are running, and none of them are fit for the job. But you know what?
Yes.
The ones who are fit for the jobs are not in the game, like yourself, like Sam, like others. So
Exactly.
the conversation should be, what can we do to put you guys on the ballot instead of the clueless ones? Because right now, if you look at right now the way the electorate, I mean the candidacies are, you tell me, Barrow is not the one. He's going for third term. Who else?
Mm.
Right now, who is there? Who you can say you are passionate about? It's not there. Let's just be honest ourselves. We are just going. We are a ship sailing to a direction that is unknown. This
Yes.
country is sailing to a direction that, unless we have a divine intervention, something came from the sky by the Almighty Allah to save us.
Mhm.
But definitely, the players right now, you talk about Dr. Ceesay, you talk about, Sabah, you talk about other people who claim to be coming to be in the political scene. What happened? They took the back door. You know, Disappointment on disappointment. There's nobody. We don't. Gambia lacks leaders. The leaders are, either sitting in their homes, or buried in the ground, or somewhere. But the real leaders are not the ones that are on the in the field. So how can we
Yes.
change that? That's the question that we should be talking about.
So it was I think it was Plato. It was Plato, the philosopher, who said one of the penalties of refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being ruled by your inferiors. So that is for me. That is why I do not blame the actors largely or entirely, because I believe, as we also said, I believe there are also very competent Gambians in different areas who can really make meaningful changes once they put themselves forward. But also, in as much as we ask that question, but also it's important also for us to look at the electorate that we have in the Gambia. Are these electorates interested on voting on issues, or are they interested on voting on who comes from their region, who comes from their ethnic group, or who is closer to them, who is their friend? What is the interest of the electorate? So that is why when you look at the electoral behavior of the Gambian electorate, I was trying to highlight those factors, because you can get today at three PhDs and you want to contest with me from a community that I am from. Example, me, I am from Kombo in Pirang. You want to come to Pirang, you want to contest against me. I've never been to school. I just thought maybe in primary school, you want to contest against me with all the experience. They may choose to vote for me ahead of you, because to them, I am more of the grassroots individual. I am more of the individual who understand. I'm more of the person that is from their own, own group, and they can choose to vote for me rather than looking at the competencies that we possess. So I believe this is also another factor that is making Gambian also to at least a bit go behind to say, why do I have to present myself to electorates that are not interested in voting for competence, that are interested in voting for mediocre? If I present myself and then I will not get anything, I'm sure you should be aware with Professor Piano Lumumba in Kenya, who is a professor of law, and also Piano Lumumba once contested in elections in 2007 in the parliamentary election. He contested against an individual who have never held any town hall meeting, and PLO held 250 town hall meetings, but yet still he was not able to win elections. So that tells you that the electorates that we have are not electorates that are interested on issue base, but these are electorates that are interested on the other factors that I've mentioned. But as you said, we have a lot of brilliant young minds that can run for parliamentary elections, that can run for mayoral or chairman elections or local government elections and all whatnot. But are Gambians ready to vote for them? Also, those individuals, are they ready also to say beyond their comfort zones, are they ready to come down and say they will present themselves as candidates? Maybe also it is important that also we start looking at things also from that end. Because you look at countries like Ghana, majority of their ministers, Ghana, people that are serving as MPs are ministers. I'm sure you understand what I mean. And majority of the ministers in Ghana are 45 years below. Are people that are even 38, 40, 42, 43, 45. Not only on the age factor, but these are people that are well informed. These are people that are well educated on the issues. Kenya, the same, and other African countries. But equally in our own context, because what happens in Ghana may not necessarily be what happens here. But in our own context, are Gambians interested in voting for Dr. Sawaneh or in voting for Sam Ceesay as a result of the qualities that he possesses, his experience, his policies that are brilliant, that are achievable, that are attainable, or are they interested in voting for John, who is from their ethnic identity or from their regional identity, who is their close family friend that once John is elected, now they will have a chance to be able to also have an opportunity to work in government. So these are the issues that we need to these are the issues that Gambians are preoccupied with. And also as Sam said, the issue of having debate. It is important that presidential candidates who want to get the highest position, the highest office in our country, be subjected to a proper scrutiny where they come and debate based on their policies, why they think the policies of the United Democratic Party are more convincing, are more sustainable than the policies of DOI or the policies of NPP or the policies of GDC or the policies of any individual, so be SFL or any person that is interested in contesting. So these are the issues and these are the cultures that we should establish. Because for me, I keep on telling my friends, the political actors we have in the Gambia don't is it that they also don't take time to learn from the other politicians in other countries, like some African countries in South Africa, in Uganda, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Ghana. I'm not using these countries as models to say they are the best in terms of what they do, but these are countries also that have evolved, that have advanced, with the way they do politics, with the way they elect people, with the mindset that they have on who becomes their MP, on who becomes their mayor, on who becomes their president, and all that. The political actors also in Gambia should also learn from their counterparts in other African countries within the region to also look at what are the new things that they are doing that we can equally equate or that we can equally inculcate in our country's politics so that it can also be advanced, so that it can also now be more issue based rather than ethnic and rather than sectionalism and all that. As I conclude, it was Julius Nyerere who said, when politicians lack ideas or when they are in shortage of ideas, they now resort to using their ethnic background or ethnic lining to now seek for relevance or to seek for vote. So I don't know if that is the case for the Gambia, but I think there is really need for there to be a transformation. We
So,
need to
so,
get out of here right now.
so thank you so much for that, John. I just wanna Sam before Sam come in, I just wanna say something here. You were saying that okay, if the electorates are following all those paths because they why are they voting wrongly, or why are they selecting somebody who they knew or that that person is not qualified? Is it because of other reasons and so forth? What is required, from your perspective in the Gambia, to really help the electorate, because we are having these online medias, right? Newspapers are out there. Educational level, I'm pretty sure, has improved for the past couple of years, right? So, what is the problem is of the electorate? Are they just, refusing to go with the flow of our, of the changing world, or because we have WhatsApp, we have internet now, we have everything, even the old people, uneducated folks in the rural areas can access information, translated in different languages, or perhaps be spoken in audios. So what is the problem of the electorate? Because they cannot see that, they are not seeing advancement going on. Look at the lives in the Gambia. Let's say they're following the West. You go there, people dress, like people here. People know anything that's happening in America, in Europe, in every place. So awareness is going, fast in terms of telecommunication, in internet, right? Why is it that they are still stuck in this mindset and voting based on this, this areas? This is what we don't. This is what is frustrating, because whenever is it that the candidates that have been contesting are not charismatic, or they don't have a message, or they don't look good, you know, because that's also might be a factor, or they are not, like they don't have the background. What is missing? So you can analyze this both end, from the electorate point of view and from the candidate's point of view, or the the way the campaign goes, and you won't understand. And then I will hear that they steal the election. The election is stolen. Election is stolen. Every election is stolen somehow. So, but the evidence are not there. The evidence are not, quantitative enough to research
Yeah.
has shown over and over. The evidence are not quantitative enough to prove that the elections are stolen. It might be an assumption. We might be, in denial. The elections are stolen. Since Jawara's time, the elections are stolen. We might be in denial. But what is the proof? Tangible proof that somebody can present, and look at the data, and we say that definitely the election has been stolen. So what is the problem? We need to look at this, because at this point we have 60% of our population are youths, right? The youths cannot be suffering, don't having jobs, cost of food, down, and our country is going down the drain, and we cannot make a decision because of the electorate. you know. So this 2026, we need to hold the bull by the horn. Right now, we see this big division among the opposition party, UDP, which is mind blowing, because that is one of the hopes, central hopes, to uproot this government that is incapable, that is going in a wrong direction, that is making the Gambian people, becoming sitting as a dictatorship government. So Gambian people have a lot of stakes. Right, just recently, the Auditor General was moved by the PIU, which is unprecedented, which is something that is unacceptable. Because of why? Somebody sitting in the office that he doesn't deserve. Because why? Gambian people, electors, are not determined enough to know what is good for them, and they will sit there and cry. We don't have food, we cannot breathe, we cannot, we don't have our groundnuts are not being sold. Complaining over complaining. What do we need for this electorate? Maybe you have an answer. Maybe Sam and I,
Yeah.
we need those answers to see what we can do to help the electorate, because the electors are not really helping us. Or is it the candidates? If it is the candidate, maybe Sam need to jump into the race, or yourself. Then I'll be behind you
Yes.
guys.
Yes. I understand where you're speaking from. By the way, I think I should have also another meeting in the next 30 minutes. But
Yeah, yeah, we're wrapping up. We're
basically,
wrapping up. Yeah, just answer this, then Sam will come and we will wrap up. Yeah, we've been over 1 hour, definitely. Yeah.
so as I was trying to put it across, I think, as you said, you made a very important point here, that majority of the population, or we have about 60% of Gambian population. So how do we change these dynamics? For me, I believe that all of us need to serve as ambassadors. All of us need to serve as ambassadors in a sense that we need to be the ones that should be in the position of taking the glad tidings to the places that we come from. If you come from a society where people vote not based on issues, but they vote based on regionalism or sectionalism or on ethnic line or family relations, we need to change that narrative by ensuring that these things are changed. We preach against them that these are things that cannot move any country forward. For me, I believe that should be the responsibility of every Gambian who believe that those are things or those are issues that should not be seen in our country's politics. But as you said, it is the same young people of our country who are also seen running around political establishments, the different political parties, and not looking at exactly what is at stake for them. Because I believe the young people need to also participate in the country's governance system. But how do they participate in the country's governance system? It's not only in the aspect of running for election, but also it's in the aspect of also serving as ambassadors to ensure that this mindset that people have towards identifying or supporting a particular group of people because of A, B, or C should be changed. That people in the Gambia should vote based on issues. So if you do that in your community in West Coast, if someone do the same in his community in CRR, Sam is doing the same in North Bank or URR or LRR, things are going to eventually change. But if all we do is this is how it has been happening in the country, we cannot change it. All people have been doing these same things, and these old people will move these same things to the younger generation, and the younger generation will also grow older in practicing those same issues. Instead of looking at what are the issues for us to choose to vote for an individual in office, but they will choose to vote for that person, even though they know that this person is not competent. You see Gambians voting for an individual that they don't even trust in. They know that this is an individual that cannot take us forward, but they will vote for that person because they understand, because they know that there are benefits attached to me supporting this particular individual. So, and as a result, it is going to based on who they vote for. So basically, what I'm trying to put across is this: the fact of the matter remains that we need to serve as ambassadors. We need to be the ones that are going to be the harbingers of glad tidings in our societies and in the communities that we come from. Only when we do that we can effect change. But once we continue to see these things as normal, this is how it has been happening, it won't change, and it is going to have a lasting effect on our country's polity. And it is high time that it is changed. But it can only be changed by the young people and by the people that are informed to go out to communities, to families that they are from, and tell them, see, hey, voting for this individual because you belong to this so and so group with the person is not going to give you bread and butter. It is not going to provide you proper health service. It is not going to be the base of you not paying for a bag of rice. But you need to vote for people based on the ideologies that they have, based on the transformative plans that they have. So once you convince people on that, now you will see people beginning to change in their mindset. I believe Gambians are beginning to change on that. It is just that transformation is a gradual process, slowly but surely. Thank you so much, Doctor. Now,
Let Sam, you comment and then we can wrap it up.
Yep,
Definitely.
yep. I think it's time to wrap it up. Definitely want to thank John for his time, his contribution for sure. And yeah, I think we're going back to what we've been saying on this. It's very, very important. And I'm going to stick with my story. I think Gambian people need to know who they're voting for, not through campaigns, but through a presidential debate that's recorded on national television or even several
What
televisions.
about Sam? What about if the president don't show up? Like we have seen, sometime even in
Well,
the parliament.
yep,
They want
yep.
to show
Well,
up.
that's why I started with if they go to if the National Assembly made it part of the IEC Act, so now it's a law that it needs to happen. So every incumbent, not just Barrow, any incumbent would know that this is something you have to go do. So they will go out. They will not have choice but to go out. And anybody that fails to go, well, that means you're dropping yourself out. Because if people don't see you, and I said this before in the past, that it will also serve as a process of elimination because there are some new candidates that just came out that know that they are out for some reason, but they're not going to make this, and they're not going to stand up there and try to debate people on certain things. So they will drop themselves out, and that will help narrow the list so that we don't select the wrong people. but presidential debate is a key factor, and is a good way for people to know who they are voting for. By going through all that, people will make up their mind who is the best candidate among all of those there. And so I think at the end of the day, we need to go that route because Gambia needs change, and we need to change fast, and we need to sensitize the people how that change can happen and how they can select the right person. Yep, and back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our guest, John, your final words.
Yeah,
John,
thanks so much, Doctor. For me,
yeah,
for me, basically, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be here to have this conversation. What I want to say is that these are conversations that we must encourage. These are conversations that we must keep having because if we want to see change, if we want to have a progressive society, if we want to have a society where everyone is going to be happily live and survive, we must continue to have this conversation because it is in this conversation that we will keep giving back to new ideas for us to have a progressive society. So, all in all, to say it is important that electorate look at issues beyond regionalism, beyond ethnic line, beyond family ties, beyond friendship, but also look at whether these individuals that I'm voting for, whether the party is really representing the interest of the general group, but also equally with the political actors to also look inwardly and they are tasked with the responsibility to better the lives of the people that they seek to serve, because that is what the former president of Kenya will say. President Moi Kibaki will say, leadership is a responsibility to better the people you seek to serve, and not an opportunity for personal greed. So once they realize that, I'm sure things are going to change. But as I said from the onset, conversations like this will have no stop. This will continue for us to have a progressive society. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, John. Thank you so much, John Mbake, for coming. This was very, very interactive and, of course, very educative. And our guests also, thank you for watching. Your comments are very valuable as we respond to them. And thank you, Sam Ceesay, Sam Solutions of Gambia. Just did a wonderful event, which is the food safety awareness. And our media also covered it. So, Sam, congratulations with you and your team for
Thank
making
you.
Gambia, like another safe zone for food safety awareness, which is really needed in the community. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you, and thank you very much, and thank you, John, for your time as well. You all have a great day.
All right.
Yep.
Take care. Take
Yep.
care. Thank you. Have a good one.